welcome to West Country Wanderings. Welcome to a collab today. I'll be showing you who we're meeting up with in a moment. We're here in the county of Gloucestershire, western side of the River Severn. This here is known as Mallards Pike here in the Forest of Dean. One of two large forests we've been covering here on West Country Wanderings, the other one being the Wire Forest, but you've also got Savernake Forest, which you've not looked at in detail yet, in Wiltshire. Hopefully we'll be able to do that at a future point, and Haldon Forest as well, near the city of Exeter. But yeah, this one is in Gloucestershire, and this is a place called Mallards Pike, and it's named not after the duck, the mallard, but a Mr. Maller, who was a turnpike only. There was a turnpike that went through this site here, and yeah, it was named after him. So he was the gatekeeper, the toll house keeper, if you like, in the 1950s. So that's how it got to be called Mallards Pike. Pike as in turnpike, as in roads, private toll roads. These ponds or lakes were actually built for local mills in the area to provide water for those. Anyway, let's go down to see who we're meeting up with today here on West Country Wanderings. Well, I have Darren with me today. Hi Darren.
Morning.
Good to see
you
again.
How are you doing, Paul?
Yeah, so where were we before? We were on the Mendips in Somerset.
We were in Eber Gorge.
That was it,
yeah,
Eber Gorge.
Yeah, Eber Gorge. It was very wet,
close
Paul, wasn't
to
it? Very slippery.
City of Wells. Yeah, that was a wonderful walk.
Do you know what, Paul? That was 3 months ago.
Oh my God, no, that's scary.
Yeah, 3 months ago. I can't believe it. How time flies.
That is scary.
Yeah.
Time just moves on. So we're here early, so we've got a bit of mist here on the ponds, lake here, that provided water for the many mills in the area. So we're going to have a bit of a walk around, a bit of an explore, aren't we? We're just taking it easy. We haven't got a specific
No agenda,
plan.
is there?
No. So we're looking for something which will become clear later in the video, but whether we'll find it or not, we don't know. But we're just going to have a wander and a chat.
Yeah, have a wander. It might
see how we go.
It might sort of, like on my video, I'm starting out because I've just worked out basically. I came here when I was about 13, 14 on like an outward bound week, I think it was, 4 nights. And I can remember I'd just driven past the place where we stayed, and that would be in my video. Can't remember what it's called now, Paul, can you?
It was the old Ironstone House in Park End.
In Park End, yeah.
Park End Railway Station. It's owned by Bristol City Council.
That's it, yeah. So we came up and we canoed and kayaked here at Mallards Pike. That's where we are now. It's beautiful, isn't it, Paul?
Stunning.
And also I can remember having to do some orienteering and walking through a very long railway tunnel with a candle, and that might be what we're looking for today, Paul, isn't it? So
it is. Yeah, that tunnel we think is on the what was known as the Mineral Loop line, which I did a video about excuse me, before, from Whitecroft, where there is a station on the Dean Forest Railway, and I tracked it up. I was looking for the southern portal of Mosley Green Tunnel, that's what it's called, but I didn't quite get to it because it was too boggy and overgrown. So we're going to try and see if we can have a look at the north one. Now, you had an interesting fact about that tunnel as well, something to do with the air shaft.
Oh yeah, because there's 2 air shafts apparently. I've never been there, but there's 2 air shafts, and on the second, so the southern air shaft, I think it is anyway, which I've never been there, there was a gun placement on the top of the shaft during the Second World War.
Wow.
So I mean, how far that's true,
yeah,
I mean, I've not read up. I watched somebody else's video on YouTube, and they were saying about it. So there isn't much YouTube footage on that particular tunnel. So
we'll go and have a look at that in a moment. Yeah.
There'll be 2 more there.
Yeah, that's it. See you in a bit. Cheers. Thanks. So we're here, not long left the car park. We've been trying to pick up the line of the railway line, which was part of the Severn and Wye. So it's a mineral loop from Whitecroft heading up north, and then it kind of links into this area to the New Fancy Colliery, where it met up with the other railway company, the Central Forest of Dean Railway Company, 2 rivals, the S&W and the Central Railway. Talk more about that a little bit if we can find the tunnel. But we've been trying to, unfortunately you can't, it's over there somewhere, but there doesn't seem to be any path, does there?
Yeah, I think it's me, Paul. I'm a bad omen, I'm always lost. I'm lost on all my videos. And Paul comes along, normally he's like really knowledgeable and gets his direction. So it's just me, Paul.
No. Yeah, so we're trying to get over that general direction.
Walked a mile, but we walked around the car park.
We haven't actually gone anywhere at the moment, but
Oh, well.
we're going round in circles. So we're heading for the main road because the mineral line, we think, went underneath the main road. So if we head in that direction, then hopefully we'll be able to find it, because you can walk out that way on a path, but it comes to a dead end because there's a private property and you can't seem to get through it. There was a mine shaft in that area as well, but the house, probably something to do with the mining at one time, but you can't get through it because it's private. But most of the Forest of Dean, incidentally, is there's a bit like Dartmoor on that. You can walk all over it, but there's little pockets where you can't, and unfortunately the bit where we want to go to is one of those pockets where you can't get across. But anyway, we're going to continue this way to the road and catch up with you in a bit. We're walking along the main road towards where the overbridge would have been over our mineral loop line and the tunnel. But we've just come across this, nothing to do with railways, but it's this bank. We're not entirely sure what it is. It certainly predates railways and that sort of thing. Any ideas what that might be? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. So we've just found these posts, which obviously supported a gate, and we think these are level crossing gates here. This is our road here. So we think that our Whitecroft mineral loop, part of the 7Y, went across the road, not under the road, but on the level at this point. Unfortunately, on the other side there doesn't seem any evidence of the line, but we're just crossing over. But buried amongst the fern is this. There. So yeah, we think that's the post on the other side. So it would have gone through there and then across. So not on a bridge, but on the level. Sorry about the flare, looking right into the sun, but we think now it actually was running on an embankment, our mineral loop line, and it went not across on a level crossing. They were railway gates though, but over on a bridge crossing this road here, which comes out of Park End towards Mallards Pike. It doesn't look like we can actually access that embankment, but here, road sign Lydney, 3.5 down that way. We've just walked up that way from Mallards Pike, but we're going to go left here down the rising sun direction towards Mosley Green, which is the name of the tunnel, and follow the road along here where Darren's walking now. I like places in South Wales. I know I don't cover Wales on my channel, but the Forest of Dean, compared to the rest of Gloucestershire, particularly the Cotswold side of Gloucestershire, they were obviously Christian, C of E, those sort of churches, which would have been Roman pre-Reformation. But in the Forest of Dean here, they were Methodist chapel people, and this is an old primitive Methodist church from 1907. So I got Darren with me. We're just having a chat about, well, kind of YouTubey things and what we've been doing and the weather here, enjoying the walk. You were saying about the air, Darren, about here compared to where you live.
Every time I come up to the Forest of Dean, I step out of the car and it is like drinking milk, you know, like the air is just so fresh.
Yes,
and I don't live very far away from a major airport, and I don't think we realise quite how much pollution we're getting from that airport, and about 2 miles away as the crow flies.
Yeah, that's quite,
in a valley,
possible.
So as you can imagine. I just up here, you know, I was just saying one night about how much clearer the air is, how much fresher you feel.
I think
not so humid either, maybe.
I think that's true. I think one of the reasons for that, of course, is we're completely surrounded by trees.
By the woodland, yeah.
So that's purifying. That's what you, obviously the old nature thing of absorbing carbon dioxide and other pollutants that are in the air, and then they're chucking out that good stuff, O2, for us to breathe. And I think that's what we're benefiting from.
Yeah, I recently did a video from. I drove down to Lynmouth. I had a few days away. I don't know if you watched that one, Paul. And I walked from Lynmouth to Watersmeet along by the side of the East Lynn. And it's the same thing. It's just so much.
You get an ozone then as well from the water.
Yeah, you know,
the waterfall.
But yeah, I mean, this is beautiful, and it's a lovely
stunning.
morning, isn't it?
It is, it really
It
is.
was actually spitting with rain when I left home this morning. I thought,
Can you believe that?
But it's perfect blue sky now, and the sunrise this morning was lovely, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. Yeah, we're really enjoying
fantastic.
we're just, we're so we don't have a definitive plan. We're kind of looking for this tunnel, but it doesn't matter if we find it or not. It's just enjoying the experience of being out on this early Sunday morning in the fresh air and all of that good stuff. So
it's more about that, isn't it? I mean,
It
if
is.
we find the tunnel or a bit more evidence of the tunnel, then that's a bonus, isn't it? Really?
it is, but yeah,
you
it's
know.
not. It's the part of it is the experience of the adventure of
Exactly
looking
it.
for it. So
Yeah.
yeah. What have you been doing on your channel? What you mentioned the one at
So,
Plymouth in North Devon
I
there.
really enjoyed that time away. So another one on that channel, I did a walk from Blue Anchor, and I walked into Minehead and then got the steam train back. I think it was the Lady of Legend,
Oh, nice, yeah.
and I managed to film that hooking up to the carriages and film it going out of Blue Anchor when I got off the train,
Yes.
and also
Yes.
got a bit of footage while I was on the train. So
Yes.
that was a really nice walk, actually. It all started off wrong because I'd walked about what you don't see in the video. I had to take that out because I was having storage problems. Can you remember?
Right.
saying?
Yes.
But
Yes.
what you don't actually see is I'd walked about a mile into the walk and then realised I left my mobile phone in my car
Yes.
in the window on its clamp.
Oh, no. Yeah.
So I had to walk all the way back, and I've been having problems with my feet, haven't I? And it's all pebble. So I actually did sort of double the amount on those pebbles.
Right.
So by the time I got off the pebbles, I was like,
Right.
oh yeah. But that was a fantastic walk, really
Yes.
was.
Yes.
And I've had a couple of
Beautiful
comments
area.
saying, oh, you should have gone slightly different way. So next time
Yeah.
I'll check that out. I'm always respectful of people's comments.
Yeah, yeah.
Learning all the time.
We
man.
both love your comments on our channel,
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
please comment on this one, and also I'll link to Darren's video that he's doing here today. Please comment on his video as well. It all helps, and we both love reading your comments. They're
Yeah.
always so interesting. Appreciate that.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you. Cheers. Thanks, Darren. That embankment, the bank that we showed earlier in the video, it's really odd. We've picked up the line of it again. Again, this has nothing to do with railways, but you have these like humps here. Now, if we were in somewhere like Australia, these would be termites. But what's burrowing here? What's causing these humps? And some of them, they've been here some time, because you get like molehills, don't you, in lawns and that, and they soon peter down. But these are mossy humps. You've got moss and grasses growing over the top of them, and you can see them there on the bank over there. Any ideas what this might be? Love to know your thoughts. Please drop a comment below. There's Darren there. We're looking at these humps, whatever they are. And the embankment of the railway is just over there. There's an oak tree there, all the ferns over there. You can't get into that bit, but that's the line of our mineral loop that came out of Whitecroft, or just below Whitecroft. I've forgotten the name of the junction now. I'll see if I can insert that, the name of the junction, which I did cover in that video when I looked at the southern end of the mineral loop. So this is the road we're still on. So this road actually takes you over to the top of the portal, according to my OS map. But we can see a railway fence here, and there's a bit of open land. So now it looks like we'll be able to walk down to the line of the old railway track, which is where Darren is walking to now. So unfortunately on the other side it's private land. So the line of our railway went through here, carry on down there, but yeah, we can't get through that. Some more railway fence posts over there, and yeah, so that was the line of our railway track there. So we're going to head back to the road so we can find the top of the portal in this direction. So you can just make out, sorry we're looking into the sun at the moment, just a slight depression, oh there it is, in the land where the railway line would have once run, here in the wonderful Forest of Dean. We just found this derelict house. So we're here at Mosley Green, that's the name of the tunnel as well. It's just a little bit further up the road. Derelict house, and I've just noticed some railway fencing here that surrounds this abandoned cottage. And I think possibly, I don't know for certain, so our railway would have been over there, the other side of the road. Maybe there was a little siding or something. And I think possibly there was a colliery around here, because if you look, there's a line of a bit of a curve going out that way between the gaps of the hedges there. So perhaps something there in the midst of time, or just a plateway predating the railway. Just noticed a pond in the garden of that abandoned cottage as well. It's got a trampoline in it as well, so I'm thinking, when did they become fashionable, start to become fashionable? Maybe 10, 15 years ago? So abandoned in fairly recent times, I would think. Here we think there might have been a tramway or plateway curving off, perhaps a colliery there at Mosley Green. I'm not entirely sure, but what I can see is some spoils or tips here which would indicate coal mining in the area. If you can just see that bank there, so that was perhaps spoils from a mine, and some cottages here on the right which may have been miners' cottages at one time here in the forest. I think Mosley Green Tunnel is actually under the road here, or the portal, so we think the portal is here down in this dip. Whether we can get to it or not, I don't know. So I did try to get to the southern end of the portal at Mosley Green in a previous video, but it was too boggy. It's dry today, but I don't know how accessible this will be. Unfortunately, the top of our tunnel, the entrance, the southern portal of our tunnel, is there, but unfortunately there is a lot of vegetation, trees in the way. Don't know if there's a path down. I'll just have a quick look.
So looks like we're stood right on top of the north portal here, and we can't get down there, Paul, can we? Because it's so overgrown.
It is, yeah.
There is a path on the opposite side of the road there, which sort of follows the top of the tunnel along. So hopefully that's where we'll find these air shafts, Paul.
Yeah.
Maybe, possibly the south portal.
That sounds good. Yeah, we'll give that a go.
Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, let's give that a go.
So,
yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, lead on, I will follow you. Yeah, cheers. Thanks, Darren. So now following Darren, we're looking for the air shafts that were obviously built when the tunnel was built at Mosley Green here. I know the line opened, I think it was around about, I think the act was 1871 because of the disagreement with the Forest of Dean Central Railway. There was a bit of hoo-ha with that, and the line opened then. So it was around 1871, I think the act was passed, and I think the line opened a couple of years later to serve the collieries in this area. But we're going here through this very damp vegetation among all these ferns either side of us here at Mosley Green, which is a green, but also obviously you can see the mining in this area. And just follow along here to see what we can see. There's some interesting bricks here in the ground. I don't know if you can see that there, denoting something that was in this area, probably to do with coal mining, no doubt, but we're following it along.
Yeah, so we have actually found the first of our air shafts for the tunnel. So that would have obviously released all the steam and everything out into the open. Would have helped the conditions in our tunnel. I think there's another one. I don't think this is the one that had the gun on, because there's a rumour that one of them in the wall had a gun emplacement on top, like an anti-aircraft gun. But what an amazing find, Paul, isn't it?
Incredible. Yeah, brilliant.
It's taken a bit of time, but we've got here.
That's it. Yeah, we couldn't find the portal, but we certainly found one of the did you say there's two air shafts?
There's two, yeah. I think so. We should be heading in that direction, and I think Paul will probably show you this in a minute. But like Paul said, there's a big spoil heap here, Paul, isn't there?
Yes.
Just across the way there. So it's quite the way they used to sort of dig down, didn't they, on the air shafts, and then actually use the air shafts to remove the spoil, didn't they?
Right. Yeah.
Which is fascinating, especially back then when you think about, there's no machinery as such, was there?
No.
I mean, they were hard working.
They certainly were. Weren't they? Looks like Darren has now found the second of the air shafts, which is here in the wood, and the other side of the road. So that's the road, Mosley Green Speech House. I think that goes on to kind of Drybrook, Lydbrook area. And yeah, so it's here. We think possibly this is the one with the machine gun on top, because it possibly would have been protecting the road on the top of it. So our portal, our southern portal of Mosley Green Tunnel, is just down there. So Darren's over here. We're trying to work out a route. Now, I tried to get down here before, but it was just too boggy to get up to. But see if we can approach it. Well, there is the southern portal of our Mosley Green Tunnel on the Whitecroft Mineral Loop, part of the 7 and Y. I'm not sure what the building is in front of the tunnel portal. We think it might be a signal box. So there's the portal. I think that there might be an old signal box. That's brilliant. Found a set of steps down to the portal. Now I'm wondering if these steps were put in, perhaps if that was a signal box, would these steps have been put in for the signal man? Because often tunnel portals don't have steps going down to the front of them because they don't need them. But often tunnel portals don't have signal boxes right in the front of them. But that does look like the case of what we get here in the forest. So we're now stood above the southern portal, the Mosley Green Tunnel, and we think that is possibly signal box there. Perhaps this here on the opposite side was a plate layer's hut, and you have these incredible steps. They are narrow, they are slippery, and some of them are uneven. So it's not easy. And I don't know if we can get out if we go down the steps or not, but we might be able to, if we go down them, we'll certainly have a better look at the tunnel portal. Well, there it is. And as you can see at the top there, you've got the keystone and the arch of the tunnel, and it says 1871, and that was the date. Well, I thought it was the date of the act of the railway, but it looks like the date that the tunnel was indeed completed, and possibly the line being opened as well. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, so I'm just looking at the tunnel here, guys. Obviously it is bricked up. I am still wondering, how long do you reckon those bricks would have been there? Because it might not be the tunnel that I walked through, what I was on about earlier, Paul, when I was a kid.
I think that could have been bricked up in maybe the 70s or 80s, I would say. Maybe possibly 90s.
And also the bottom brick there looks a lot newer, doesn't it?
It does.
So I reckon you could pass through there, and this is sort of, I remember a bit of a flashback here.
A gate, maybe a door?
Yes, I think there was. And the keystone there dates 1871. I think that's when, is that when it opened, Paul?
Yeah.
And this building just here, you think that signal box?
Yeah, I think that's the signal box,
yeah,
possibly. And I think maybe this here, this one in front of us, is the plate layer's hut, maybe, for men working on the railway maintenance, I would think, because it's a smaller one.
Our line disappearing down through there in the distance.
Because last time I think I got to about where my finger is, and I couldn't. It was just too big. I couldn't get any closer to the portal. So to be able to get this close, I can't get right up to it. But I'm pretty happy with what I can see from this angle here.
And me, Paul.
I'm pleased with that.
So I'm looking at that, and I'm honestly thinking, do you know what? I think it was just open. I don't think there was a gate there.
Yeah.
And the matches and the candles were put in little bags.
Right.
At that end, I reckon.
Yes.
So we must have been able to walk through that end.
I think it's entirely probable. Yeah. Because the vegetation's probably grown up a lot more. The other thing now, I think this not only has been put in to stop people going into it, but perhaps for bats. We noticed at the top there's a hole there, slit. So I think that's for bats.
It's probably quite a large
and they don't want people in there.
Yeah. It's ideal, isn't it, for bats?
That's probably why they're stopping people
probably
going.
Hanging from those from the air shaft.
Yeah.
Perfect for them, isn't it?
I think so. That's great.
Right, brilliant.
Well, let's head back. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Excellent stuff. Great. Mind the steps there. Yep. Well, we're both really pleased we found that southern portal, and I'd say I tried to find it before when I was doing a video about the mineral loop there, following up there. I'll put in information on the screen now. I'll also link to that video at the end of this one, so if you wanted all the facts and stats about it, then check out that video. But today's more of a little bit of a light adventure, a bit of a fun collab. But it's not quite finished yet. We're going to walk back to our cars and head off somewhere else to close the video off. Somewhere I've been before. Haven't just done it in detail on the my channel before, so catch you up in a bit. Just got Darren with me. We're actually walking back to the cars at the moment, and I was just saying to Darren that I remember going to Mitcheldean at the old, I think it's called the Wilderness. The Wilderness is still there, but I don't think the centre is still open there. And it was run by Gloucestershire's education committee. So all the schools in Gloucestershire, they would bring the children there for either a day or a week or longer, residential, and you do like nature studies out here in the forest. Wonderful introduction for walking in nature. And you said you came here in the 80s, was it, Darren?
So I would have been 13 or 14, I think. So that would have been 84, 85. And we stayed, it's Park End, isn't it, where the other place is. That was like an outward bound sort of,
car just come in.
Sort of outward bound place. But yeah, we had a great experience. I think I might have touched it on my video earlier. where we went canoeing, kayaking, abseiling. The canoeing and kayaking we did it Mallards Pike.
Right.
And I'm sure that on this video, that tunnel portal, we went through there.
I'm sure it
and I was
was
saying to Paul, we had, they give us little candles, like tea lights, in a bag with some matches. And that was part of the orienteering experience, you know.
That must have been an amazing experience at that age
Yeah,
as well.
I can remember, it's like I said, it was the first time I'd ever been away from home without my parents.
Yeah.
Or my siblings, and it was an amazing experience. And we had pillow fights at night, you know, and they set you off in groups of 4.
Yeah.
And the bond over that week that we had to build our rafts, and we,
Yes.
you know,
Yes.
we learned that some people had better skills than others.
Yes.
Others were better at some things than others, etc. So for me, that was a real experience, you know, and in the beautiful Forest of Dean, I mean, what better place, really.
Exactly.
Fantastic, yeah.
Oh,
so
brilliant. Yeah, thanks for that, Darren. Yeah,
you're
so
welcome.
we're heading back to the cars now, so we'll see you at the final location in a bit. Thanks. Yeah, so we're just coming back round to Mallards Pike. We're actually now walking on the railway track bed. So this is where it was heading towards New Fancy. That way is to the southern portal of Mosley Green, and then we think it went over on an embankment and then over the road, but this way take us back to the car park and the lakes here at Mallards Pike.
And it's like a compass bearing. So if you look through this one here at Oldbury, you've got Salmon Putchers and the Severn Bridge. And actually, if you peer through, I'll try it on this camera, the Severn Bridge will be right in your view by eye. So yeah, clever thing.
We're now come round to Lydney Harbour. I've got Darren with me still again. He's just doing bits for his video. We're on the Lydney Canal, which connected the town of Lydney, which is 2 miles north that way. Of course, we've got Dean Forest in that area. It's got its own railway station on the main line between Gloucester and Chepstow and Cardiff. And yeah, so you've got this canal, which is a wide canal, much wider than what we're used to on the channel here, which was for freighting coal out of the Forest Dean, connecting it up to the River Severn to go, up that way towards Worcester direction, Midlands, down that way towards Bristol, Channel and beyond in South Wales. So really, really important canal. But we're going to have over, I don't think Darren's actually been to the Lydney Harbour before.
No,
so we're going to, he's here with me,
yeah,
still here.
hi guys.
We're on this, this is in fact is a swing bridge here, there we are. So we're on this swing bridge, which has been, some of this was restored a few years ago, some of it was only restored just a couple of years ago. Of course, you got a good view of good old Sabrina, so we're going to head over there now. And there are lots of railway infrastructure in this area as well. Now, Lydney Harbour here was actually done up a couple of years ago. There's a cafe over there. I think we might be heading for that in a moment to finish our video. I love this old photograph. It was taken on an Easter Sunday in 1914. You see everybody, the workers out enjoying their Easter break, and this fantastic ship here from Falmouth. I think it was called the Ailey. I think that's what it says. And you've got these 2 buildings, one there and one there. They were sadly destroyed, but look at this. You can see them here. They were reconstructed, so you can see exactly where that location is today from this amazing old photograph. There is so much detail in that photograph. I just absolutely love it. And here, of course, you can see the layout of the railway tracks. You can see the coal turntable there that would have turned the trucks around after they had tipped all the coal into the ships below in the canal, and then heading out into the River Severn and then on into the sea.
Yeah, so guys, Paul has just explained, this is Lydney Sandbanks here. I can't remember the name of that.
Yeah, that's Barclay Nuclear
so
Power
that's
Station.
Disused now, Paul. Is it decommissioned?
Disused, yeah. They still got science labs there. But
yeah. So that was, and then as we pan round down over there, you can see Oldbury Power Station. Also, the 2 bridges. The what's it called now, Paul? King Charles Bridge.
Yeah, one of them's.
Yeah.
That's right. Is it Prince of Wales? One's Prince of Wales, isn't it?
Prince of Wales.
One's Prince. Yeah, the old bridge and the new bridge.
But basically, the new and the old.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
bridge
We'll keep it.
over the Severn.
Yeah, that's it.
And we've got a funny structure there.
Yeah, we've got some kind of stone circle. I don't know how long. I don't think that's been there that long, or why it's there. It's kind of. Yeah, I mean, let's have a closer look at that. It's got some inscriptions on it when you line it up. So there we're looking in the direction of west.
Successful, yeah. Nice
We've got
coffee
Hovis here.
Thanks a lot, Paul. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers. So we've got coffee
It's been
here.
a great walk, hasn't it?
This is the Lydney Harbour there. I think it's called Hips.
Yeah.
It's open most days, I think. So
Yeah.
I have used it before. It's a great place here to just to chill out and look at the canal.
End the video.
Video and then end the video as well. Yeah. So yeah, we hope you've enjoyed it. We've got two. The reason I'm looking from there, if I'm looking away from this camera and looking at that one, is because we've got two cameras going on at the moment. So
we're basically doing the same ending to the video, Paul, aren't we?
Recording it all at the same time on
So
both
you're
to
going to
save
see
time.
the
So
same ending, basically.
Yeah, it will be exactly the same.
But what an achievement, I think, Paul, to eventually find that portal, that safe portal. I really enjoyed that bit. I've got to be honest. That was a tick off the box, really, wasn't it? Because I know you couldn't get to it last time either.
That's right. Yeah,
and
very much so.
then obviously to end up here, and you'd never been to Mallards Pike before,
No,
either,
I hadn't. That was the first for me, and it was nice to get there early to see that mist
Beautiful
just
place,
above the lakes
really
there,
is.
and yeah, that was terrific to see that. Yeah, really, really good.
Fantastic. I've really enjoyed this, Paul.
Yeah,
Really have.
yeah,
We will
me
have to
too.
do one on the
Yeah.
Mendip, so
Yeah,
definitely.
I will return to the Mendips with you, and
Yeah.
you can take me to. What did you say the place was called? Charterhouse.
Well, it's not far from Charterhouse, so it'd be Pretty Minories or Pretty Minories, however you want to pronounce it. But the actual operating place there was St Cuthbert's,
Right.
so it's not far from Stockhill Wood. So we'll park there and we'll just walk in.
Right.
You know, maybe
Okay.
another 3 months' time we'll meet up again.
Yeah.
Can't believe it was 3 months' time
Oh yeah.
since the last
No,
time.
I think
but-
we'll probably do it before.
Yeah.
if we
But
can.
no,
Yeah.
It's been really enjoyable, and Paul's been absolutely brilliant. His knowledge is exceptional.
I don't know.
I mean, we didn't.
I've tried.
You know, we did get a bit lost to start off with, but I'm used to that. If you watch my channel, you'll realise Paul's normally
It's
very
part
good.
of the
at-
adventure, though.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
part of
It
the
added to
adventure.
it, didn't it?
Just sometimes
On the way back, we did find that better way back though, which was
we did.
a bonus.
We were picking up the line of
So,
the track bed as well.
anyway.
So, yeah.
So, guys, hope you've enjoyed the video. I don't know what my next adventure is going to be. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Do you want to go, Paul? And I'll finish mine up?
Yeah. You can finish. Yeah.
So, all the best, guys. All the best from Somerset Man Walking, and
All the
this
best
man.
from me on West Country Wanderings. We'll see you on our channels again very soon.
Yeah,
I'll
great
link
stuff.
to Darren's, and I'm sure he'll do likewise, and I'll link to one of his most recent ones as well. Check out, if you're not aware of Darren's channel, Somerset Man Walking, highly recommend checking out his channel. So I'll put a link to that in the description of mine, and yeah, he does some really good stuff, and his local knowledge of the Mendip, he knows the area very well. I don't know the Mendips that well, so if you want to check out the Mendips, part of the West Country, then
Yeah, I've done a
this
bit on
guy's
there
your man.
now. Yeah, thanks
he's
a lot,
done really
Paul.
good. Yeah, so check out his channel. All the best. Hope to see you all on the channels again soon.
Take care. Cheers, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Yeah, I think.